Okay, fine. So let's start today's class. Good evening to all of you. And if you can see me and hear me clearly, I will launch this poll and you can select the option. Okay, so these are the results. So I think we are good to go. So we will start today's class with this amazing, state of matter called as superconductors. Okay, so I know some of you might have heard about superconductor, and it has like immense potential to be one of the great technology that we can ever have. But at the same time, there are some drawbacks or there are some challenges for this superconductivity. So we will see one such effect of superconductivity known as Meissner's effect. Okay, so we'll start today's class with this amazing video about Meissner's effect. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and you will see this Meissner's effect. So observe carefully what is happening, okay, in this Meissner's effect. And if you're really curious about all this, okay, just let me know later, because it involves little bit of advanced topics related to electromagnetism, which you will learn the basics in 10th standard and little bit in detail you learn in 12th standard. But nevertheless, it is very interesting to see this amazing activity. So on your screen now, okay, you can see this Meissner's effect. So observe carefully everything. Okay, so this is it, and another explanation of latent heat, a simple explanation of latent heat, which will help you understand it. Okay, so what exactly is this latent heat? So let us try to understand. So I will draw the diagram. Okay, so some rough diagram. So please cooperate. Suppose this is my beaker, and inside this I put some ice cubes. Okay, inside this I put some ice cubes. Okay, just imagine these are the ice cubes. And then what will I do is that I will heat it. Okay, I will heat. Okay, this is fire. Okay, I will heat it. And I have this another setup over here. This is my stand, and to this I will fix one. To this I will fix one thermometer. Okay, so I'll just imagine. So I fix one thermometer. Okay, so just understand what is happening. So I am basically melting ice. Okay, I am doing this experiment of melting ice. Okay, and this red color is heat. Okay, so this is my burner. That is my burner where I am providing heat to the beaker such that the ice can melt. And here in thermometer, I will record the temperature. In thermometer, I will record this green color is my thermometer. Okay, so this is my ice. Okay, fine. So now I'll record the temperature. I will record the temperature. Okay, so I can notice that at 0 degrees Celsius, the ice starts to melt. Okay, at 0 degrees Celsius, the ice starts to melt. Okay, I'm just explaining the scenario, so please stay with me. Okay, so at 0 degrees Celsius, the ice starts to melt. Now, what I will do is that if we increase the heat, okay, that means over here, this burner, what is there, I'll put more heat. Okay, I will increase, I'll rotate and I'll increase the burner so that more heat energy is supplied to the beaker. If we increase the heat, then what should happen? The temperature should rise. Okay, so then the temperature should rise. Okay, and the thermometer should show higher temperature. Okay, but the thermometer do not show the increase in temperature. No, the thermometer is working fine only. Okay, that's good quality thermometer. Sir, that is a Dabba thermometer, sir. Waste thermometer doesn't work properly. No, thermometer is proper only. Everything is proper. If we increase the heat, then the temperature should rise. Okay, I'm talking about at 0 degrees Celsius, not at any random temperature. At 0 degrees Celsius, if you increase the heat of the burner, okay, so that more heat is supplied to the beaker, so the temperature should rise, but the thermometer do not show the increase in temperature. So the reason for this, I'm going to write it in this green color so that you know this is important. Because it is due to the, wait, sorry. I'll write it is due to latent heat. Okay, so why the temperature does not increase? Okay, it's because of latent heat. What is this latent heat? It is the hidden heat. What is happening over here also, I will write it now. Okay, so please carefully understand what I'm writing. Okay, so the reason why the thermometer do not show increase in temperature is because of latent heat. Okay, what is this latent heat? Why it is stopping the increase in the temperature? I am writing it now. Watch carefully. Okay, this is because the excess heat supplied is used to overcome the force of attraction of all the ice particles till it completely melts and forms water. Okay, so till all the particles, this is the most important word, till all the ice particles melts, the temperature will not rise. Whatever excess heat that you provide, that heat is used to overcome the force of attraction of all the ice particles. Completely the ice should get melted to become water. Till then, there will be no increase in the temperature absorbed in the thermometer. The thermometer will not show any increase in the temperature until and unless all the ice particles melts. Okay, if you provide super high energy, full burner on gas cylinder only, go and put it. Whatever you want, you do. Still, it will not show. Okay, of course, if you put instead of one burner, if you bring one more burner, and even provide that heat also, it might, the speed of the reaction might increase. Matlab, it will happen quickly, maybe within some 2 or 3 seconds. Okay, the ice might get completely melted. Okay, but until and unless ice melts, the temperature will not rise.
Okay, are you understanding the point? You may increase the speed of the reaction. If you just put one burner, maybe it will take 5 minutes. If you put two burner, maybe it will take 2 minutes. If you put one big gas cylinder only, maybe 1 minute. That's all. But the temperature will not increase till the ice melts completely. That is the point that I'm making. Okay. So this is all because of latent heat. Just remember two words: latent heat, full marks. That's all. Okay. You just have to understand these two words: latent heat. What is this latent heat? This latent heat is the hidden heat, okay, which is not shown by the uh, thermometer. Okay, this hidden heat is utilized by the particles to overcome their force of attraction. Okay, so this is our latent heat concept. So I'll repeat it again so that you understand, because this is important from a lot of kind of perspectives. Because if you understand this, then maybe in the future 11th and 12th standard you will understand other things also, specific heat capacity and all those things also. It will be easy. Okay, but for 9th standard level, you just have to understand two words: latent heat. That's the answer. What is the question? The question is, why do thermometer, okay, I'll put here, why do thermometer do not show the increase in temperature when the ice is melting? Okay, that is the question. Answer is latent heat. Fine. So I will explain the entire experiment again from the beginning. Okay, so watch carefully. So I took this apparatus. Okay, this is the apparatus used for melting the ice. I took the ice in the beaker. As you can see, thermometer I attached, burner I have provided, stand, everything I have done. Okay, so first thing, I'll increase the burner. Okay, and I'll record the temperature. At 0 degrees Celsius, we observe that the ice starts to melt. Okay, at 0 degrees Celsius, the ice starts to melt because that is the melting point of ice. Next, important point. This is where we define some important things. If we increase the heat, then the temperature should rise. Okay, because if I increase the heat of this burner, okay, so the temperature should rise. But the thermometer over here, this green color thermometer that I put, the thermometer over there will not show any rise in the temperature. Why? Why the thermometer does not show any rise or increase in the temperature? The answer I have written in green color. This is because of latent heat. Okay, this is because of latent heat. And what exactly is happening? The excess heat supplied is used to overcome the force of attraction of all the ice particles. Okay, the force of attraction of all the ice particles, until and unless every single ice particle melts. Okay, till then the temperature will not increase. Okay, that is how they show unity. Okay, together till every ice particle melts. Even if there's one ice particle which did not melt, the temperature will not rise. 100% all the ice should melt and should become water. Only then the temperature will rise. I will add that point also over here. The temperature will increase only when all the ice particles melts completely. Till then the temperature will not increase. Okay, so that is the concept, because whatever extra heat that you have been provided, that extra heat is taken to help other ice particles to melt. Okay, the other ice particles to melt. After everybody melts, then only the temperature will increase. That's all. Okay, that is the concept of latent heat or hidden heat. The heat is hidden. That is why the thermometer will not show the increase in the temperature. Okay, so please understand. I know this is little tricky for you to imagine and understand, but this is simple, basic concept that you must understand. Okay, so it is like very easy. You just think that the extra heat is used to help other ice particles to melt completely. Okay, after that only it forms water. Okay, another analogy I will give. Suppose you are writing your 10th standard board exam, final exam, board exam. Okay, you finished your paper in 2.5 hours. Your other friends are writing. Even though you submitted your, you finished your paper in 2.5 hours, you cannot submit the paper. You have to sit in the examination hall until and unless the time is up. Okay, that is till 3 hours you should sit in the exam. Whether you finish your exam in half an hour or 5 minutes or 2 hours 55 minutes, doesn't matter. You cannot leave the examination hall until and unless the time is up. Okay, here also same thing. The temperature will not increase until and unless everybody gets melted. Okay, till then the temperature will remain the same. Answer: latent heat. Okay, why? Because of latent heat. If you understood this latent heat, okay, just click on S. Okay, click on S icon. Okay, if you understood this latent heat. I just want to know how many of you understood and how many of you did not. If you did not understand, see, I have made you write the things in very simple way. Okay, so in the simplest way I have written, just go through these notes. Okay, whatever I've written right now, take a photo. Take a photo, good quality photo. I'm gonna freeze the slide. Okay, so take photo properly, and after the class, read it 5 times, not 1 or 2. Read it 5 times. Okay, so that you understand something. Even then also you did not understand, please let me know. Tomorrow again I can explain, I don't mind. Okay, so this is our concept of latent heat. Since this is happening for melting, okay, there are two latent heats. There are two types of latent heats. Okay, the latent heat when the ice is melting, you call that as latent heat of fusion. So that is what I have written here. In the exam, they will ask definition, 1 mark. Definition they will ask. And this is the definition. Latent heat of fusion is the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of solid into liquid at the atmospheric pressure at its melting point. Okay, this is the definition of latent heat of fusion. Just like we have latent heat of fusion, in the same way, we also have latent heat of vaporization, which is for boiling. Okay, when the liquid gets converted into gas. Same experiment what I did now, the same way, if you do it for boiling of water, that is, take the beaker, put water and heat it such that at 100 degrees Celsius, the water begins to boil, and over in boiling point also, until and unless all the water particles are converted into steam, the temperature will not rise because latent heat. Same concept, same idea, same technique is also applicable at boiling point of water. Okay, and that is our latent heat of vaporization. So whose definition I'm going to write now? Same, ditto, everything same. Only 2 words you should change. Instead of solid to liquid, you have to write liquid to gas. That's all, because at boiling, liquid is converted into gas. So here I'm going to write the definition. of latent heat of vaporization. It is the amount of heat. It is the amount of heat required. Amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of liquid, 1 kg of liquid into gas at the atmospheric pressure, at the atmospheric pressure at its boiling point, at its boiling point. This is the definition of latent heat of vaporization, or latent heat of boiling point, when the substance is boiling, okay, when the liquid is boiling. So remember, 1 kg, here also 1 kg. Now you may ask, hey sir, how can liquid be in kg, sir? Liquid unit is liters or milliliters. How can you write in kg? So we will just keep the units same, so that our heat capacity or the heat required will remain standardized. Okay, standardized or uniformity. How will I take 1 kg of liquid? I will take the beaker. I'll take the beaker. I will put water. I'll put water, and over here I will measure. Over here I will measure. Okay. Once it shows 1 kg on the measuring scale or device, that much amount of water I will consider, like that. Okay. Whatever you pour, 1 liter, 2 liter, whatever, how much ever amount of water you want, you pour it, and you measure its weight. You measure its weight. Once it is 1 kg, that much amount of water we will take over here. That much amount of water we will take over here, and that much amount of water we will convert into gas. Okay, by heating. Fire, you put fire and it will start to heat. Okay, what exactly is this atmospheric pressure? Next topic we'll be learning this only, don't worry. Okay, now you just understand this latent heat of fusion and latent heat of vaporization. Okay, same concept, same idea. Okay, and the definition I have written in the box. Okay, the same definition what I have written, latent heat of vaporization, it is just similar to latent heat of fusion. There are only two latent heats. One is latent heat of fusion, which happens for melting. Okay, another latent heat of vaporization, which happens at boiling. That's all. Okay, you need to just remember these two definitions. In the exam they will just ask definition. Okay, apart from definition, what will they ask? They will ask this question, which I'm going to write here. Okay, what question will they ask? This is the question will they ask. Okay, why does, oh, sorry, wait, why does, same mistake, why does the thermometer not show the increase in temperature at melting point? That's all. Or they may ask for boiling point. Okay, why there is no increase in the temperature, or why the thermometer does not show, why does the thermometer not show the increase in temperature at melting point, or I'll write that also, or at boiling point. Answer is 2 words. Answer, latent heat. Aste. That's all. Okay. Do not do any overaction in the exam. This is the answer. Okay, 1 mark question. And I just took half an hour to explain this extra in detail information that is for your knowledge. Okay, that is for your understanding purpose. Okay, latent heat you can write, and you can tell this another point. You can mention this another point, that is the excess heat is used to convert all the particles. Okay, that is how the excess heat is being utilized, because you have to show what is happening to that excess heat. Okay, and that is why you are mentioning this one more point. The excess heat is used to convert all the particles. At melting point, all the particles will convert from solid to liquid. At boiling point, the particles will convert from liquid to gas. That's all. Okay. If you understood this, click on the yes icon. If you understood answer to the question that I wrote, click on the yes icon. In the textbook, I'll show you the question also, and you will only tell the answer. Okay, I have the textbook, NCERT textbook for CBSE people as well as the state syllabus people. I will show you the question, and you will only know the answer. Okay, and this notes also, do not worry. I will scroll up and down, and you just have to quickly take the photo. Okay, first photo. Wait, you can take from. No, this yesterday only we did now. Okay, no problem. So you take from here. First, take mobile phone quickly and take one photo fast. Okay, good to photo you take. Later again and again, I cannot scroll up and down because I have to teach the next concept. Okay, so I took so much of time to explain this already. Take photo quickly. Okay, if you are using laptop, keep the laptop, take a mobile and click. Okay, or in laptop there is one button called print screen. Okay, click on the print screen and go to Microsoft Paint and do Control V, paste. So there, whatever print screen is there, that will come. It's just like screenshot. Okay, this is the definition of latent heat. There are two latent heat. One happens at melting point, another is at boiling point. Both of them have written the definition. Properly read, understand, and write the same thing in exam. Okay, definitions, you have to stick to the same definition. You cannot write in your own words. Okay, definition should be accurate. You cannot write in your own words. Okay, this is the experiment to show melting of ice and to explain latent heat of fusion. Okay, take a photo of this also. In the textbook also, they have given the experiment. I'll show you the textbook as well. Don't worry. Okay. After this, this green color, this is your entire explanation part about latent heat and what exactly is happening in the latent heat. All the latent heat that is there, that heat is utilized to overcome the force of attraction of the particles so that it can break the bonds and it can get converted. Okay, that's all. So quickly take the photo, and now I will show you the question that will be asked in the exam and which is also there in your textbook. Okay, so this is your science textbook, first chapter, and where is the question? I will show you the question. See, first of all, you should know your textbook properly. See, this is the activity that we were learning just now. Okay, ice is there. Watch carefully. Ice is there. beaker is there, okay, thermometer, glass stirrer, okay, all this. This is the activity, okay. Now, what is the question? What is the question? So the question is here. Question number 3. For any substance, why does the temperature remain constant during the change of state? Okay, this is the question. The answer to this question is latent heat. Question number 3, the answer is just 2 words, latent heat. Okay, so wait, I will do one thing. Just open this in PDF. And in front of you only I will write. Later, I don't want you to make mistakes or something. Okay, where is the question? This is the question. Where? What is the answer? Latent heat. That is the answer. Ashte. Okay. For any substance, why does the temperature remain constant during the change of state? Because of latent heat. Full stop. Another point you write. The heat, the excess heat is used to overcome the force of attraction of the particles. Over. Full marks. Full marks to you. Aste. Don't do any overaction. Okay. This much you write, that is over. Okay. So now, moving on to the next topic. So quickly see, once I complete this pressure, then we can go for the Kahoot quiz. Okay, because the quiz is based on 2 topics, temperature as well as pressure. Okay, so till we complete pressure, we cannot attempt the quiz. We have to complete pressure and then only we'll attempt the quiz. So now comes the next topic, that is effect of pressure. Okay, effect of pressure. So before that, I'll just write the definition of boiling point also. Okay, I've already written the definition of melting point in yesterday's class itself. Okay, so boiling point definition, I'll quickly write. The temperature at which the liquid gets converted to gas at the atmospheric pressure is called as the boiling point. What is the atmospheric pressure? In the next 5 minutes only I'll be explaining. Okay, don't take tension. Patience, little patience you have. The next topic is only pressure. I'm going to explain the atmospheric pressure in the next topic itself. Okay, don't worry. So this is the definition of boiling point. Melting point definition I have already written in yesterday's class itself. See, this is the definition of melting point. The temperature at which a solid gets converted to a liquid at the atmospheric pressure is called melting point. Okay, definitions, you should be perfect. If you make mistake in definition, 0. You cannot write definition in your own words. Definitions should be accurate. Okay, so now we will go to the topic of pressure. So first you need to understand what exactly is pressure. So pressure is given by this formula, P is equal to F by A, where F is force, A is area. When we do gravitation chapter, at the later half of the gravitation chapter, you will learn in detail regarding pressure, numericals, and all that. Okay, so now from chemistry point of view, we will just quickly see what exactly is pressure. Okay, so it is the amount of force exerted per unit area. Okay, how much force is exerted per unit area, that is considered as pressure. Okay, SI unit is pascals. Okay, not rascal, it is Pascal. P. Okay, Pascal is name of a scientist. Symbol we write PA. Okay, SI unit is Pascal. Now your definition that you have been waiting to know, atmospheric pressure. What is atmospheric pressure? The pressure exerted by the atmosphere on the earth. Okay, this is the atmospheric pressure. Aste. Its value, approximate value is 10 raised to power 5 Pascal. Okay, 1.01 into 10. I will write full only. Again, you will make mistake in the exam. Why chumma take risk? 1.01 into 10 raised to power 5 Pascals. This is the value. Okay, this much pressure is exerted by the atmosphere, and this pressure is considered as the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so once you go up, okay, for example, Mount Everest, if you are climbing, okay, so your pressure starts to decrease because you are going up. Okay, so at that point, when you reach higher and higher heights, the pressure will be lesser and lesser. Okay, so the relation between the pressure and the boiling point, melting point, everything you will learn later. Okay, so when you go to the top, okay, the melting point and boiling point will also change because the pressure is changing. As you can see here, the boiling point is dependent on the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so that is how the relationship is. So more about this again, so we will deal in the higher classes. Let's not break our head for this. Okay, for 9th standard level, we will not get confused. You learn the basics first, advance later. Okay, you don't want to unnecessarily confuse you in the exam or in your textbook. They haven't given anything advanced. You learn all this properly, you be perfect, then you ask me, I will tell you about advanced concepts. Okay, you don't know basic only, then how can we go for advanced? Learn basics first, then we'll go for advanced. Okay, so this is the meaning of pressure, the amount of force exerted by per unit area. Okay, so the more force you apply, and if it is less area, then the substance will undergo extreme pressure. In order for you to understand, I'm going to show the concept of pressure with the help of this wonderful video on balloons, water balloons. Okay, how much pressure or how much force you have to apply on a specific area so that the balloon will burst. Okay, and these are some cool images. So this. Okay, so watch carefully. Okay, so that is how pressure can be used to change the state of matter. Okay, and this is what is happening. Suppose if I take this, okay, like this, you call this as piston. Okay, I hope you might have heard about this word piston. So if you do not know, Then I will just show you what exactly is a piston. So if we take this piston, it will be like this. In mechanical engineering and all, you will see about the pistons that is there in all your IC engines and all that. Okay, so that is some interesting things that you will study later. So this piston, I'm going to draw in a simple way like this. Okay, this is the piston. So here I have some particles. I have particles like this. So when I apply pressure, when I push it downwards, what is gonna happen? What is gonna happen? So this is my piston handle like this. So when I apply pressure, okay, pumping it downwards, the particles will now come closer. The particles will now come closer to each other. Okay, the particles will now come closer to each other, and that is the effect of pressure. If you apply more pressure, okay, then the particles will come close to each other, and that is basically compressing. Okay, and over here it can drastically change the state of the matter. Okay, so but we need two things, temperature as well as pressure, together to do this process called liquefaction. In the exam they will ask you this, liquefaction of gases. In order to convert gas into liquid. Okay, so you see LPG gas that you have is liquefied petroleum gas. LPG gas is your liquefied petroleum gas, where the gas is liquefied. So in the process of liquefaction of gases, the gases are liquefied or converted to liquid by increasing the pressure and decreasing the temperature. Okay, so liquefaction of gases is the process in which the gases are liquefied. Sorry, I will write here. The process in which the gases are liquefied, in which the gases are liquefied or converted to liquid by increasing the pressure and decreasing the temperature. By increasing the pressure and decreasing the temperature. This is called liquefaction of gases. Okay, so where, you know, as I have shown in the diagram, they're applying the pressure such that the particles will come close. Okay, the particles will come close. If you apply sufficient pressure to the gas particles and if you reduce the temperature simultaneously, then the gas has the capability to get converted into liquid, and that is what we are doing in all this LPG gas cylinders and your oxygen cylinders in hospitals and everything. Okay, liquefaction of gases is taking place over there. Okay, so if you understood this liquefaction of gases, you please click on the yes icon. This nothing. Pressure is increased and temperature is decreased. Okay, pressure is increased and temperature is decreased. You have to do it together. You have to do both of these together. Then only you can convert the gas into liquid. Okay, so I have already told you in the previous class about this particular case, solid, liquid, gas. Okay, so if you heat the solid, you will get liquid. If you heat the liquid, you will get gas. In the same way, the inverse thing is also true. Okay, what is the inverse thing? If you cool the gas, okay, if you cool down, if you cool the gas will become liquid. If you cool the liquid will become solid. Okay, so this is in terms of temperature. Okay, but we will also include the pressure. All of these are happening at the atmospheric pressure, because we do not want to neglect the role of the pressure. Okay, so all of us in room temperature, you are sitting, I am sitting, everybody is sitting, all of us are being exposed to atmospheric pressure, because on our head we have atmosphere surrounding, on our head we have atmosphere surrounding the earth. Okay, so all of us are subjected to atmospheric pressure. Okay, so this is one thing that you should know. And the next thing is this complete flow chart. So I'm going to make it like this: solid, liquid, gas. I'm going to show it in the arrow mark. Okay, so the process from solid to liquid is called fusion or melting. Okay, if you have to convert from solid to liquid, you call that process as fusion or melting. From liquid to gas, you call that as vaporization. Vaporization, or you call it as boiling, in simple words. All of us know this. Okay, so now similarly, if you have to convert from gas to solid directly, okay, if you have to convert from gas to solid directly, so you call that as sublimation. From gas to solid or solid to gas, both of them are called as sublimation. But you also know this special term, you can also call from gas to solid as desublimation. Okay, or deposition. Or desublimation. Okay, examples and all I'll give, don't worry. Okay, I can do the same thing. No, it will become confusing. So one more thing I'll do. Solid. So in your textbook, they have combined these two charts and given us one chart in the form of a triangle. I thought that will be confusing for you. That is why I'm writing like this in simple words. From gas to liquid, you call it as condensation. From liquid to solid, you call it as solidification or freezing. In the refrigerator, if you put water in the freezer, the water will get converted into ice. Correct now? So same thing. And over here, solid to gas, call it as sublimation. Okay, so I've just made it into two separate charts. Okay, so from solid to liquid, the process is called conversion of solid to liquid. You call it as melting. All of us know. From liquid to gas, you call it as boiling. All of us know. From gas to solid, you call it as sublimation. Okay, the second part of this is, if you have to convert from gas to liquid, you call it as condensation. Okay, and liquid to solid, conversion of liquid to solid is freezing or solidification. And if you have to convert solid to gas directly without getting converted into liquid state, okay, so that is your sublimation. Okay, so all these things have written. So see carefully. And now look at the arrow marks. Okay, so I have written arrow marks. Follow the arrow marks carefully. Follow the arrow marks carefully. And this whole thing is given in the textbook in the form of one triangle like this. Okay, whichever is easy for you to understand, you can use that. Okay, so over here you can see solid to gas, gas to solid. For both, they have put the same word itself, sublimation. Okay, so I have just given you one extra information, that is from gas to solid. You can also call that as desublimation or deposition. One extra knowledge point, Aste. Okay, same concept only but different terms, that's all. Okay, so in the exam you can use any of this, you will get marks, because all the teachers, whoever is there, they know all this. Okay, so even if you write for gas to solid as deposition or desublimation or sublimation, you will get marks. Okay, no need to worry, it's just for knowledge sake that you should know. Okay, the same chart is what I did here in the two separate flow charts, that's all. Okay, so that you can understand easily. Okay, just for convenience, you want to refer to that only, triangle what you saw in the textbook, it's up to you, no problem. Okay, so this is our interconversion of states. Okay, interconversion of all the states. So now if you've understood this, you can click on the S icon. Okay, if you understood this, you can click on the S icon, so that we can now go to this Kahoot quiz. Okay, so that let us see how much of you, how much of the concept have you understood till now. Okay, if you understood this much, you can click on the yes icon. If you did not understand, click on the no icon. Absolutely not at all a worry or issue, but write the notes, and later if you want, we can again explain. Okay, so madam is also there before the class, you can ask and get it clarified, or you can ask me later also. Fine. So this is our topic, interconversion of states. So I'll just quickly show you about this amazing LPGs, gas stoves. So I'm going to show the game pin now on your screen. You will see the game pin. Enter this game pin and join the game. Okay, so this is the game pin that you see on your screen. Okay, so type this and quickly join the game. So this quiz is based on the concept interconversion of states. Okay, how to convert state from one form to another. Okay, we learned about the role of temperature and the role of pressure and liquefaction of gases Okay, so this much, based on this much concept, this quiz is been designed. So let us see how much you understood. So today, after the class, so I will put the homework also. Please solve all those homework questions. It will help you understand the concepts better. I'll put it in the WhatsApp group itself. Okay, don't worry. So another 10 seconds. Okay, so others please who did not join. So enter this game pin 297130 and enter the quiz. Okay, fast. So I'm going to start the quiz now. On your screen, you will see the first question. Okay, so be ready. This is your first question. 20 seconds. Conversion of solid to liquid is called as dash. Simple, easy question. Solid to liquid. What is the name given for conversion of solid to liquid? Simple, easy question. And time up. Okay, so 44 of you have got it correct. See, another name for melting is fusion. You should know all the terms. Okay, cool. So others who did not get it correct, so please make sure that you understand all the options clearly and select the correct options. Okay, so better luck next time. No problem. So at the end of first question, so Nasser is leading. So question number 2. What is the melting point of ice? You should tell the temperature. At what temperature the ice melts? Okay, and the temperature is given in terms of Kelvin. Okay, the temperature is given in terms of Kelvin. Okay, you have to select the most correct answer. Okay, so the answer is 0 degrees Celsius, but the 0 degrees Celsius is also, when you convert into Kelvin, it is also 273 Kelvin. To be more accurate, it is 273.16. In some of the textbook, they might have given 273.15, but nevertheless, 273 will take the whole number. Okay. You just have to know all the temperature scales, man. I have made you write in terms of the table also, Celsius, Fahrenheit, Kelvin, everything. Please revise the notes. So at the end of 2 questions, okay, Diksha is leading. So very nice. So question number 3, the temperature at which liquid starts boiling at the atmospheric pressure is called dash. Okay, look at the figure. You have a clue, wonderful clue in terms of the picture. Okay, last 5 seconds. So be quick. And time up. Okay, so the answer is there in the question itself, man. They are clearly told boiling. Boiling will happen at boiling point or vaporization. So now again, Nasser is back into the lead. Okay, so very nice. So next question, question number 4. So the amount of heat energy required for 1 kg of solid to change into liquid at atmospheric pressure is called dash. Is called dash. Okay, we did this definition today only. The last 5 seconds. And time up. Okay, this is the definition for latent heat of fusion. Okay. So Nasser is still leading. Okay, good. So now last question. Last question. Change from solid to liquid takes place by dash. How can you convert liquid to solid? Okay, how can you convert liquid to solid? You have to tell the process. Okay, how do you do it? How do you do it? By what method you use to convert liquid to solid? Okay, by decreasing the temperature or cooling it down. Okay, so then you can convert the liquid to solid. Okay, fine. So with this, we complete today's quiz on change in states of matter. So on the third position, so we have Srujan. The second position, we have Nasser. So the first position, today's winner of the quiz is Yash Patil. Okay, fourth position, Priyanka. Fifth position, another Yash. Okay, so congratulations all of you. And others who could not be in the top 5 today, do not worry at all. Keep working hard. One day you will also be in this top 5 and I'll be happy for you. Okay, so with this we'll end today's class. Okay, so thank you so much. And please do the homework. So I'm going to put one worksheet for today's homework based on change in states of matter, and read the notes, please. You have to read the notes, otherwise it will be difficult for you to understand. Okay, so I'm going to transfer the host to Mohit sir. Mohit sir will continue now. But before we end, so a quick poll on your screen. Okay, if you enjoyed the class, click on yes. If you did not enjoy, click on no. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so but do today's homework, so without fail, so it will help you understand the concepts better. Okay, if you do not put effort from your side, I'll be completely helpless. You have to study, you have to read, you have to revise and solve those questions. Okay, so thank you so much. So this is the like the poll result. Okay, if there's anything which you want me to adopt in the class so that you will like the class, just let me know the reason why you're not liking the class. And with this, I'm going in today's class. Okay, so thank you so much. So Mohit sir will continue.